Today we're going to speak about the Benvie stone. It's a Pictish stone, and the Picts were the people indigenous to the northeast of Scotland. We only know their names from other people. We don't really know much about them themselves, and we also don't know what they called themselves, or even if they thought about themselves as one people. But one thing that unites them is their style of art, and most famously is their Pictish stones. And these have been divided into three sections by their age. So the oldest stones are boulders with incised symbols on them. Next to the stones that combine Christian religious imagery with the symbols. And then finally we have stones like the Benvie stone, which has a cross on one side and a figurative scene on the other. We know the Picts were farmers, and here they're showing themselves as warriors, but we also know that they must have organized their society in such a way to be able to support craftsmen. And this stone is carved in what's known as high relief. So it's the most time-consuming type of stone carving because they've had to remove all of the background material to bring out the figures and the details. So they were able to support these highly skilled craftsmen within their society. The Picts are considered mysterious because no one really knows what their symbols mean. So one way we can find out about them is by the imagery on their stones. And this stone might have been to commemorate a battle. It might have been to give thanks for victory. It might be someone who gave land to the church. We really don't know, but we can take it from, we'll take the point of view that it's someone who wants to show off their wealth and their privilege. And this is how he wants to be seen. He wants to be seen as a warrior. So we have two people on this stone. There's a man in the upper register, and he has a big, long, drooping mustache, and his hair is all nicely curled. And he's on a horse with a braided tail, and he's carrying a spear, and a small sword, and a round shield. But he's also accompanied by a little dog. So we don't know what kind of role the dog might have had in warfare. Some small dogs were used in types of hunting, but it might be a man who's just telling us that he's wealthy enough to be able to keep a dog that has no working purpose, that it's just a pet. And the man down here, he's possibly a younger man or someone slightly less important. He's wearing a helmet. He doesn't have a big mustache. His horse is slightly smaller, possibly a pony, but he also has a round shield and a spear and a sword. So by this time, the Picts were influenced by other styles of carving. So you can see a little bit of an Irish influence. You can see Northumbrian and possibly even the Near East. And also by this time, the Pictish society had been taken over by the Scots. So the Scots were Gaels from Ireland who formed the kingdom of Dalriada on the west coast in Argyll, and eventually their culture subsumed the Pictish culture. So that might be one reason why the Pictish symbols disappeared. It might not have been politically expedient, or the symbols may have lost their meaning by this time. So we think this stone dates to about the 9th century.